Hi and welcome to Sandwiches, Reviews and Recommendations. In today's video we're going to be talking about the TV show F is for Family, specifically Season 5. Now, the cast of the show, we have Bill Burr voicing the dad of the family, Frank Murphy. We have Laura Dern voicing Frank's love of his life, Sue Murphy. We have Justin Long voicing the eldest child of the family, Kevin Murphy. We have Haley Reinhart voicing the middle child, Bill Murphy, and we have Debbie Derryberry voicing the youngest child, Maureen Murphy. For anyone who hasn't seen the show or doesn't know what it's really about, it's essentially a cartoon about a family set in the 70s where we see all of these family members having plots which intertwine with each other. We also have them talking and commenting on social issues and having one of the most hysterical yet graphic visuals in the show. Seriously, brilliant. Season 5 starts off a very dark way, continuing where Season 4 left off, and we see Frank Murphy dealing with his dad's death and trying to find some reasoning with his dad's last words. The show starts off a bit slow humour-wise, which, fair enough, most shows that deal with continuity in a way will kind of go through this. But seeing as it's the last season, I was really hoping it would ditch this dark phase and let the humour come in strides, which luckily it did. I do feel like there were certain plot lines of this show that were a bit weak compared to other seasons. Not to blame the writers, I just don't think these were particularly great. One being Kevin Murphy and his neediness for his girlfriend. It's not that it was out of character for Kevin, but it just wasn't that particularly funny. Bill Murphy, his plotline started off weak, but it was eye-grabbing for the wrong reasons, but in the most hysterical way. Honestly, the best plot of the show was Frank and Sue. Her plotline was very interesting as she was trying to reconnect with her family, specifically her gay brother who she inadvertently outed during her wedding. Whilst I did love this show, I will admit the humour doesn't evolve, which I wouldn't expect it to. But saying that, it was using the same old tactics of like shocking imagery, trying to get a reaction. Now, it may work for the first 1 to 3 seasons, but afterwards we're expecting it and it's not going to be as like shocking, but it's still funny, but not as funny as what we saw in the first seasons. So it was a bit sad that. That being said, I will say the show has a lot of heartwarming moments, and my favourite part of the show is during the end we see Frank realise that he doesn't need to go searching for this advice from either co-workers, celebrities, or even dead family members. He just needs to realise what they were all missing, and that was enjoying their family. And what I really love is the last scene of the show is very similar to the very first scene we see in the very first episode, and they tweak it a little bit and gives it a bit more of a magical touch to it. I really enjoyed it. With all of that being said, I'm glad that this show has ended the way it has. It's sad to see it go, but I'd rather see it go like this, to go over its peak and somewhat drag on and then never being able to leave at a high point. With that being said, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10 for this season, and I would say that I'd definitely recommend this, and I'd recommend the first 3 seasons. They're probably the best Netflix animation humour I've seen entirely. When it comes to recommending cartoons just as good or if better than F is for Family, it's quite difficult as most Netflix cartoons are subpar, with one being the exception, that being BoJack Horseman, which is very funny but also very dark for different reasons, and is one of the, I believe it is the original Netflix cartoon. Other cartoons, on the other hand, I can recommend The Simpsons, as not only is it a great cartoon, but they also share the same creative person, that being the great Michael Price. He worked on both Simpsons and F is for Family. We also have Futurama, another great cartoon. A cartoon I would say is in the same vein as F is for Family, but obviously I'd say this cartoon's way better, is South Park. And both share similar comedic values, with one being a bit, I think, South Park, when it comes to shocking and grotesque visuals, they're still able to knock it out of the park and never make it feel stale. Do enjoy. Another thing I forgot to mention about F is for Family if you are wanting to find a Christmassy cartoon, technically season 1 has Christmas stuff in it, as does season 5, so you know.